Good morning, everyone. I am Rachel Tobin. I am with Jackson Spalding, and I'm the immediate past president of the Atlanta Press Club. I think what most of us in Georgia love about Dave Barry is not the fact that he wrote hundreds of newspaper columns, published in hundreds of media outlets, or that he won the Pulitzer Prize for commentary, for his consistently effective use of humor. And by the way, he remains the only humorist to do so. No, there's something a little more that we like about Dave Barry. It's that he makes fun of Florida. We all know there's the ridiculous, and then there's what happens in the state to our south. So here to help us make sense of crazy Floridians and hopefully share romantic Valentine's Day tips with all the men in the room is Dave Barry.
It's a little unnerving to address press club. You said something like about a beacon of good journalism, which basically I wrote booger jokes for 30 years, and so I don't know that much about journalism. But I was gonna talk a little bit about my post journalism career, and my favorite letter that I ever got, I think, as an author, came from two fifth grade boys, writing to Ridley and me about one of our books, and I'll just quote from it here. Both of us think that your book is one of the awesomest books out there. Just to warn you, two authors that our book club has written to have died. We hope that the curse skips you. And then they sign it, and they write, P.S. For most of the letter, we alternated writing 3 words at a time. So anyway, I thought maybe I should get back to writing for grown-ups. Just interest in staying alive. So I ended up writing this book, Insane City, which is the Insane City referred to in the title is my town where I live, Miami. I moved there in 1986 from the United States, and I see myself as sort of an ambassador for the city of Miami because it doesn't have a great reputation. Every year, the Zogby organization does a poll where it asks people what they think of major metropolitan areas, and every year Miami does poorly in that poll. The last one I'm aware of, 67% of the people responding said they thought of Miami as a dangerous, violent place. And when we see that, those of us who live there, it hurts. We want to track those people down and kill them. And in addition to the culture, the many, many different cultures driving there, we have a lot of senior citizens driving in South Florida. A lot of folks from the retirees from the New York metropolitan area. And these are good people. I myself am originally from the New York metropolitan area. But these are folks who I don't think drove a lot most of their lives. I think they took public transportation, and then they retired, and then they lost the vast majority of their sight and hearing. And then they came to South Florida and got driver's licenses, which down there come with your Happy Meal. And then they like big cars. They like to have a lot of mass around them, the senior drivers. Sometimes they get 2 Oldsmobiles and have them welded together. But somehow in the process, they leave out the front seat of the car. So you have a lot of people driving like that. That's why. The point is, first of all, Miami's a great city, and you should come back, come visit it. We have a new attitude down there, new tourism promotion slogan. Come back to Miami. We weren't shooting at you. The problem we had was we have an infestation of Burmese pythons, which are these giant pythons. They get to be 15, 20 feet long. They're not supposed to be there. They're supposed to be in Burma, wherever the hell that is. But over the years, people brought them to Florida as pets, and there's this very good reason why these people do this. They're idiots. So what they did, they came up with the Florida Python Challenge, and basically the state of Florida invited anybody who wanted to come down and come on down and kill our snakes was basically the message we sent out. And there was a cash prize, $1,500 for whoever killed the most pythons, and $1,000 for whoever killed the longest python. But you couldn't just let anybody. We have to have standards. It's Florida, after all. First of all, you had to pay a $25 fee. So that rules out the lightweights to come up with $25 to come down and kill our pythons. And you also, this is my favorite part, had to take an online course. Short line. And you ask anybody in the field of big game hunting, anybody who's ever tracked down big snakes in the swamp, How do you learn to do that? Online. Short is the way to go. And I'll just tell you real quickly what Insane City is about. It's Miami is the setting, and I decided to put another kind of non-sane institution there, which is a wedding. The story is basically about a guy named Seth, who's the groom, who is not a successful person. He's a nice guy, easygoing guy, good-looking guy, friendly guy, but not a big success. He tweets for a living. He's a social media professional. He is marrying a very successful person. Her name is Tina. She's brilliant. She's gorgeous. She's rich. She's a successful Washington attorney. She's a cause-oriented person, holds all the right views and all the right causes. And she has planned the perfect wedding. It's going to be perfect. The only mistake she's made, she said it in Miami. I'm always being asked to explain journalism to people, in the newspaper industry. And I always say that, all I know is that we had the great misfortune of being an industry run by English majors. So, we were making all this money in the 70s, and then along came the internet, and we lost it all. But, because we never figured out what business we were actually in until it was way too late. I agree with you that newspapers are on the way out. There won't be newspapers eventually, which makes me sad. I don't pretend that I think newspapers are going to keep going the way they are, because they're not. I don't think. The question is, what will happen to journalism? And I don't have an answer. I wish I did, but I hope somebody figures something out before all the journalists have become professional tweeters. Yeah. Wait, didn't you already ask a question? Are there no rules here in Atlanta? In Miami, we're really careful about this kind of thing. No, I'm sorry. I'm not actually the founder of International Talk Like a Pirate Day. I popularized it. Two guys from Oregon invented it, and they'd been observing it for a number of years when they finally wrote me a letter and told me about it, which, in just in case you don't know, it's a day when everybody's supposed to talk like a pirate, and it's September 19th, which, as you probably have gathered, is the birthday of one of their ex-wives. So I know for a fact that when I am long dead and gone, the only thing that I will be remembered for is International Talk Like a Pirate Day. Because it's now people around the world observe this thing. And I was a column I wrote about a product called Beano, which is an anti-flatulence product. And the reason I wrote the column was that it was recommended to me by John Stevens, the Justice of the United States Supreme Court. On his official Supreme Court stationery, wrote me a letter saying, Mr. Barry, I thought you'd be interested in this product. And it was an ad for Beano. And it's not every day that a Supreme Court justice. So I wrote a column about it, and Portland, Oregonian deemed it unfit to print. Well, I have led the international crusade against low-flow toilets. I mean, people don't realize we used to have great toilets in this country. We had powerful, mighty toilets that could suck down a mature sheep. And somehow, not that we did, but we had the capability. And now we're stuck with these water-saving toilets that you can't actually flush anything down. But anyway, on that note, I think we've covered a lot here, a lot of ground here at the Atlanta Post. Anyway, thanks a lot for coming today. We'll see you.